My goal with my solo music has been to just try to find something a little new, a little different, a little interesting, a little innovative, not compared to anybody else, compared to myself. I was born in New York. I was a teenager in the 70s with all that great progressive rock music, Queen and Led Zeppelin, Jethro Tull and all that stuff. The biggest advantage I think I've had in my whole career was that when I was a kid and I started playing the guitar, I had Joe Satriani for a guitar teacher. I call that the Vi advantage. And I was introduced to the music of Frank Zappa, which really turned me on because Frank was doing all this compositional stuff, and I loved the idea of composition. As a matter of fact, I was composing before I was actually playing the guitar. I got really into Frank's music and started working for him when I was 18, transcribing music. And then when I was 20, I joined the band. And then in the 80s, kind of, drifted off into these mega rock bands of the 80s, like when Dave Roth left Van Halen, I joined his band. We sold millions of records and traveled around the world. And then I joined Whitesnake, which was a heavy metal hair band from the 80s. Which played pretty good, rock music. But all of that time, there was this music that was in my head that I wanted to do and I wanted to create. And I knew that all of those bands were really just kind of like a passing, fleeting kind of a thing. And when I got the chance to record Passion and Warfare, that was like when I just shut the door and I just thought, okay, now I'm going to really do what's important to me. I'm going to leave the whole rock star thing and any hope of ever making any more money again, To my surprise, it was wildly successful, and here I am today. I think there's this big misconception in people's mind that if you do something that has feeling, then you can't make money at it. Let me tell you something. I never thought about making money in the business. I was resigned to the fact that I was going to be, I wouldn't mind if I was broke, and I was a music teacher in high school. Matter of fact, one of the greatest people I knew in my whole life was my music teacher in high school. What I did was pursue the thing that interested me the most, that excited me the most. Everything else came. Very fortunate because I'm able to kind of work with all these great companies and kind of have the gear customized to my specifications. And I'm usually pretty loyal because, when companies are starting to throw all sorts of gear at you and everything, it's really easy to kind of go from one to another to another. And I played Strats. I loved Strats, but I could never get high enough. And nobody was making 24-fret, guitars like that. With whammy bars, So companies wanted to make guitars for me. I basically sent this prototype out to everybody, and I said, whoever makes me the best guitar wins, And it wasn't even a contest. I mean, Ibanez came back the quickest and with the finest instrument. And it was built exactly around my specifications, where everybody else was like, well, why don't you play this guitar? And I could never understand why. And they said, we could sell this guitar. And I thought, who else would want something like this? Boy, was I surprised. 77,777 guitars later.